The National Assembly is the symbol of democracy. Let's hear the view of some members on the significance of June 12 on Nigerian democracy, the journey of Nigerian democracy so far, the 2 years in office of the Ninth Assembly, and so on. Happy viewing.
Yes, thank you very much. Congratulations, well deserved, well accepted. It's been 2 years of a tortuous journey, but with a smooth leadership. We couldn't ask for a better one, if not for the major incidents that have bedeviled us as a nation and as a globe. My name is Honorable Princess Miriam Odinaka Onoha. I represent Isi Alambano, Onimo, Okigwe Federal Constituency. I am from Imo State, the peaceful state, the land of hope, peace, and hospitality. And I'm the first woman to be elected into this office from my federal constituency as a woman. Well, talking about our second anniversary and 2 years in office, mine is just about a year because I was sworn in on the 27th of January 2020 when my mate had gone almost a year. But I was faced with not just me, the coming of Madam COVID, who came unannounced, who was not invited, but has wreaked a lot of havoc on the people, on my constituency, the nation, the house, because most of the budgeting and budget processes, like you are aware, there is even a supplementary budget now which had just gone through to augment for COVID intervention. That, I think, has aggravated also economic activities and affected our livelihoods and sources of income negatively. I think that effect has impacted negatively on the psyche and mentality and the general output and outlook of our people. You could see a lot more violence, a lot more restiveness, a lot more hate coming from that incident as a post-COVID effect, and that you have seen resulting in 8 backlashes like intertribal clashes, calls for cessation, wanton killings. You know, that also I think has been escalated by the media, social media platforms, most especially. Well, within these 2 years or less than 2 years I've been here, have experienced, like I know, that we have a right to freedom of information, freedom of expression, freedom of communication as contained in our charter, both of Africa and of the UN, rights to existence and right to freely express ourselves. But how much does that right cut into our peaceful existence and our livelihood is another thing. So that while expressing our rights, we do not now infringe on the right to life of the other Nigerians, because most times what I've seen is that most of the insecurity and violence and clashes have been occasioned by incisive speeches or broadcasts or retweets or rebroadcasts of assumed or perceived killings that have been sent to you unverified, and then we pass those things on without checking them, and it now looks like it's a segmented or regional or predetermined plans to wipe out a particular sect. So Nigeria has been divided more than I have known it to be in this my young time of existence at this age. I recall, and there may be, it's an opportunity to judge rather than war. And I believe that there is no war, there is no conflict in the world that has ever been settled, that has completed without being settled on the table. So if there are things that we can talk about and get over with, why go into the war? I heard about the Civil War and I heard about the impacts and the rippling effect on the past that generation. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to see war. So I feel that whatever our ambitions, whatever our wills and our desires, it shouldn't cost the life of another Nigerian. So as a mother, as a female legislator, as a responsible citizen, I believe that our rights to whatever we want must be respected, but that right must not be used to now inflict pain on the life of another Nigerian. So while exercising our rights, I enjoin fellow Nigerians to also be mindful of where your right ends and where the right of another Nigerian begins, and that is where we mix it up. So if we can propagate more of laws, has Nigeria as a country done what is expected to do right now? We have not got to where we are going, but I don't think we are a failed nation. There are issues and problems here and there. Insecurity has become a global menace, and it has become a decade that nations must rise with actions and back it with solutions that will bring about goods, bring about the desires of people to a reasonable extent. Government should do a lot more in opening up the economy that would promote the growth of MSMEs, where capable women and youth will be incorporated in their enterprise. I also think that a lot of the government intervention projects are not being as well known as they should be. I'm aware there's a lot of JEEP, conditional cash grants, survival fund, and I think that the government should partner NOA and other arms of government to escalate these projects that are available. There's a lot of facilities going on from CBN and its sister agencies, agriculture, processing and exports. We should call a national youth women or enterprise summit and get a conversation started where youth and women will be availed the opportunity to see all the available grants, loans and support to them. Because when you don't have anything to do, you become restive. When we have our things to do, when they say come, there is a we no go agree, you say I have something to mind. So I feel for those of us out there, fellow youth and women who have been badly hit by the economy, and that is why I've suggested this economic summit, where youths and women who are such qualified and interested will be availed the necessary tools to ignite their passion and make their own contribution to national development. I believe that will reduce the restiveness and calm the tension right now.
Thank you for staying with us. Happy Democracy Day celebration, and we wish all the members of the 9th Assembly a successful return. God bless Nigeria.